So I'm going to erase this side of the board. I'm going to write the expressions for the TE10 mode now. It's the one that we want to work with. One and zero. Cosine of 0 is 1, so I'm going to erase that. Sine of 0 is 0, so I'm going to erase that. And that's the same thing. And cosine of 0 is 1. And that's what I have. That's our expression for the TE10 mode. I erase and you rewrite. Let's map this field here over the cross-section of the waveguide. We started to do that last time, and I promise I'm going to do it again, so here it is. Move this to the left a little bit. Here's my cross-section, and here's a projection on the broad dimension and a projection on the narrow dimension. So this is my z coordinate here, and this is my y, this is my y, and this is my x, this is my x, and this is my z. Now, this and that gives you the E sub y plus, if you wish. Okay? And this one here is your hx plus, and this one here is hz plus. These are the three quantities here that determine my field. So if I start with hz plus as the beginning here times the cosine pi m pi x over a, and x is equal to 0, that's a cosine, so I can see hz plus at x equal to 0. So at x is equal to 0, right here, I can see it here if you wish, because I'm going to do h sub z here. So I can see h sub z plus here, at x is equal to 0, right? I'm sorry, where's x equal to? Right here, I'm sorry. X is equal to 0 is right. Right here. What's going on? Why am I confused? X equal to 0 is right this plane. My apologies. So this is x equals 0, this plane right here is x equals 0. Okay. I can see h sub z plus changing with the x in a cosine fashion. So it changes in a cosine fashion, like this. And it's only one lobe, right? Because m is 1. M is 1. M is 1. M is 1. That is 7. Cosine pi over a. Here's my cosine pi over a. That's my h sub z, how it changes. It changes with the z in a propagation fashion. So it starts with the, here's my z, and it changes as a propagation this way, and this from here to there is lambda guide, right? Let me make lambda guide shorter. I don't have to go that far. I need to show maybe a couple of lobes. Okay, so that's lambda guide. And that's again my h sub z. So the product of a plus and a plus, h sub z becomes plus here. And it goes to 0 here and goes to negative there. Right? It's positive here, 0 there, negative there. If I go this way, it becomes here negative, and negative times negative will be positive here. And over here is going to be 0. 0 and 0, that means 0 here and 0 there. That's my h sub z. Obviously that repeats. So over here is going to go back again positive, negative there, and again negative, positive here. I started h sub z as yellow, and I changed the color. Maybe I should change the color so it will be, I don't think you are doing any color in your notes, but the lecture tape would have the right colors. That's h sub z. I think that's where we stopped. And these are all zeros. Okay? Now let's do h sub x. H sub x will have the same thing as h sub z times a j something. Times a j something, that means we are off by 90 degrees. So the h sub x, which I'm going to use, well, what can I use? Let me use red. So the h of x will be off by 90 degrees. That means it's going to be this way here. It's going to be maximum when I move on the z-axis by 90 degrees, which is the j. Because the j can go in here as e to the j pi over 2, and that means I shift my z position by 90 degrees. There was a 0 here. I forgot to show the 0 here and the 0 there. I didn't do a good job on my diagram, but anyway. So over here is going to be the opposite. Right here is going to be the opposite. Here's the opposite, and so on and so forth. Now, the h sub x has a sign, not a cosine. So its distribution is going to be doing this. That's your h to x. So it's peak in the center, while zeros and the ends here. So these are the h's and the ends will be zeros. These are zeros. Now obviously the h has to exist in closed loops, right? So the h sub t and h sub x will complement each other and produce these loops. The loops here are going to be doing, I told you I did not do a good job on the proportions here, okay? The first one is bigger and I shrunk the size of things. You can see the h sub d and h sub x will complete the loops of each other like that. So you can see the I should do that in the third color, like white. I'll do that in white. That's the superposition of the h sub g and h sub x. Finally, we add the e, and the e is not in quadrature with the h. Sorry, is in quadrature with the hx, like it's in phase with the h sub z, except for a minus sign. So it's out of phase with it, and it is a sign. So the e will still be a sign, but it will be in phase with the hz. So it's going to be, instead of coming out, it's going to be going in. Maximum here, maximum out here, maximum in here, maximum out here, and so on and so forth. So according to this, it's going to be like that. And obviously it shrinks the zeros on the edges. So if you wish to do it, these are the pluses. Here, these are the dots. Here are the crosses. Dots, and so on and so forth. I didn't have enough time to do the other diagrams, but you can see what's going on here, all right? You can see that the E is vertical along the Y, while the H's are loops horizontal in the ZX plane. The H is loops horizontal in the X plane, and the E's are vertical in the Y direction. I think this one here can lead you to the other pictures here. I'm going to send you the rest of this in this color website. Any questions before we go? Get your camera out and take a shot of this picture. I will do myself so I can be consistent when I present it to the, I may actually send that photo myself. It's not the best picture there is, but it should work. Sometimes I don't know how to use my phone. All right. We'll see you on Monday, right? You guys have a good break and you rest. I'm not going to give you any homework or assignments over the break.
That means that which one you want. When will the next one be assigned then?
Monday. Yeah, we will be writing. So far we're doing mathematical development and I hate to assign anything on that. The applications will be more meaningful. So Monday we'll have an assignment.
This was 0-1 mode, right?
1-0.
1-0.
Right.
Okay. All right.
I got all my research done on Monday.
Okay.
Everything I need to do this week, I did all.
The 0-1 will be similar except the X and Y will be, switch roles.
You said you haven't posted the chapter of the